If a federal executive order were issued to bar Black people from all social, athletic, educational, and other programs in the United States, it would immediately collapse under constitutional and statutory prohibitions, trigger a cascade of federal lawsuits and injunctions, lead to the withdrawal of billions in federal funding, provoke political and possibly criminal repercussions against the administration, and draw sharp international condemnation. Constitutional and statutory prohibitions. Any race-based ban would violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, which forbids states, and by extension the federal government, from denying any person the equal protection of the laws on the basis of race. Cite Tide Turn 1 Search 1. The Supreme Court has long applied this clause to strike down laws that classify or discriminate against individuals by race, subjecting such measures to strict scrutiny, the highest level of judicial review, which they invariably fail. Cite Turn 1 Search 3. In addition, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 makes it unlawful for any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance to discriminate on the ground of race, color, or national origin. Cite Turn Search 2. Virtually every public school, university, athletic program, and social service agency in the U.S. receives some form of federal aid, meaning a blanket prohibition on Black participation would jeopardize funding for countless entities nationwide. Immediate legal response. Within hours of such an order, civil rights organizations and state attorneys general would file emergency suits in federal district courts seeking injunctions to block its enforcement. For example, the NAACP successfully sued the Department of Education in April 2025 to halt funding cuts aimed at diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, alleging violations of Title VI and the Equal Protection Clause. Cite Turn News 9. Similarly, the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division is empowered to investigate and enforce Title VI violations, and would almost certainly seek to overturn any racially exclusionary policy. Cite Turn Search 1. Funding and programmatic impact. As soon as the policy were announced, federal agencies would move to suspend or withdraw assistance from programs found in violation. Under Title VI regulations, schools or athletic teams discriminating on the basis of race can lose critical funding, ranging from Pell Grants and Title I school aid to highway and infrastructure dollars. Cite Turn Search 7. Affected institutions would face an abrupt funding cliff, leading many to either defy the order and risk cuts or abandon federal programs altogether. Political and criminal ramifications. Such an unprecedented race-based ban would also trigger political upheaval. Congress could invoke its oversight powers to hold hearings, pass legislation explicitly blocking the ban, or even move to impeach the president for high crimes and misdemeanors, given the clear constitutional violation. Senior administration officials who implement the ban could face civil liability and potentially criminal charges under statutes such as 42 U.S.C. 1983 for depriving citizens of their civil rights. President Biden's 2025 executive order reemphasizing illegal discrimination underscores the White House's intent to enforce civil rights laws rigorously. Cite Turn Search 6. International condemnation. On the world stage, the United Nations and other treaty bodies would denounce the U.S. for breaching international commitments. The UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination has repeatedly urged the U.S. to end structural discrimination and uphold its obligations under the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. Cite Turn 2 Search 1. The ACLU has similarly highlighted U.S. obligations under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which guarantees equality and non-discrimination to all persons. Cite Turn Search 7. Social and institutional fallout. Beyond the courtroom and legislatures, a mass racial ban would spark widespread protests, civil disobedience, and possibly violent unrest as communities and activists mobilize to defend fundamental rights. Businesses, universities, and sports leagues would issue statements of defiance. Many would file their own legal challenges or threaten to relocate or forfeit federal programs rather than comply. The net result would be a near total paralysis of public life and services until the ban was rescinded, likely within days by court order. In short, any executive attempt to exclude Black people public or federally assisted programs would be struck down almost instantly as unconstitutional, cut off vital funding streams, set off extensive litigation and political action, and invite international reproach, underscoring the resilience of America's civil rights framework.
This is history already been done in the United States, and this is what Trump trying to take the people of the United States back to this here foolishness back in 1940s and 50s. And this is 2025. There's no way in the world we're going to go back to no era like this. The hell with Trump and his cabinet and anybody that look like him. I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and please subscribe to this video. Please subscribe to my channel.